For the cohesion policy, well, it's evolved. It's a bit in the continuity, but there is a big evolution, especially as you had a new, what you used to call objective. You know, cohesion policy defined different regions and look at the richness of the region. If people are poorer than much poorer than the average, they will receive a lot of money from the cohesion policy. If they are in between, they will receive, let's say, a bit less of money, and every region will receive something. So even rich region will receive a small amount. So you see the definition. The ceiling is 75% of the average per inhabitant, of course. For the less developed region, for the transition region, which is a new concept, it's between 75 and 90%, and the rest is more developed region. And you have also the cohesion fund. You know that a structural policy is so the regional fund and the social fund is defined by region, and the cohesion fund is defined by member states. It's only for transport infrastructure and for environment infrastructure. So environment, what does it mean? It means sewage, it's big, or water pipelines. And you have, okay. This is probably the best way to understand what is happening in the cohesion policy. I just take a few minutes, well, a few seconds, let's say, to define it. You have there, in violet, the less developed region. You have the transition in between, and the more developed there. Left is budget, right is population. So you see, more developed, small budget, large population. Transition, okay, budget, but when compared with the population, and of course, the old conversion, so the less developed region, large budget, small population. This means a budget about 200 euro per habitant per year for the less developed, and 10 times less for the more developed region. Okay, I will just go implicit. Incidentally, for Hungary, there is no transition region. It's either less developed or, for the time being, and we have to recalculate it next year. But it's either rich region around Budapest or it's less developed region. So it's not transition. Okay, this we can. Okay, if you are interested in cohesion policy, one of the most controversial elements is the capping at 2.5%. What does it mean? Well, when you define the cohesion allocation per member state, so it's an envelope defined by member state, you say I have X inhabitants in less developed region, cross times X inhabitants times X euro per inhabitant, this is my envelope. And you do it, you sum everything, and then you compare it with the GNI. If it's higher than 2.5% of the GNI, you just suppress what is above. What is the logic of it? Because it seems a bit strange to cut the funding for poor, well, the GNI is low, of course, for poor member states or regions. Well, the logic is that you have an absorption capacity. If you are, it's not possible to flood a country with money. So I think this principle, everybody accepts it. But what people do not accept is that the capping seems to be, and is, a bit lower than in previous period. We come, I suppose, back to it in the discussion, but one of the things is that it's not completely the same basis as in previous period. No, briefly, okay, this I will okay, agriculture, basically, I said what I need to say. It's stabilization in nominal, well, in current price, let's say. Okay. I would say something about the global Europe. If you see, it's also a big increase for external relationship. The calculation is very simple. All member states commit to the millennium goal of 0.7% of the GNI going to development goal. And the EU budget used to fund 15% of this money, the rest coming from member states. And so the proposal of the Commission just reflects this calculation. 0.7% of ODA expenditure, this means development expenditure, has to be normally allocated to financing external development. This is the millennium goal. And at the level of the EU, we finance 15% of this amount. The rest is supposed to be financed by the member states.